love boats. I gotta make sure that I'm not gonna run into anything underneath, as well as the hull. So I'm gonna take a few measurements and just verify everything's clear. Well, that would be problematic now, wouldn't it? This is not working. Right when I thought it was going to be real easy. Showed me, right? That first Casey's going to buy me. It's going to taste really freaking good. That way he doesn't have to pull his anchor out. Like a hole. Found it. The other perspective of how I'm getting to the hole, like this. See, it's way back there, so I gotta crawl all the way back into there. I love boats. Everything, including the kitchen sink, is in my way. So fortunately, my 1-inch drill bit that I bought quite a while ago, babying, used it quite a bit. It's gotten me out of a lot of problems I've come across over the years. My Whole bore bits wouldn't work because underneath here, the angle up against the hull impeded my drill clearance. So I was able to get my large drill bit and be able to actually pass a hole through here. This bottom piece here I actually put in a long time ago. This boat originally had a cooler of sort. It was kind of like one of those Coleman thermoelectric coolers. You use heat sinks and fans to cool off the contents inside of it. It was real small. It was only actually, didn't even run all the way aft or up against the port side here, but just a small little box, and it didn't work very well. It drew a lot of energy and I didn't really like it, so yeah, it really didn't do anything. So we ended up ripping it out and just turning this all into storage. But one of the things that I built whenever I did this storage area was I made it so I could remove everything easily in case I needed to get behind to run wire or anything. And also there's the through hose for the sink is right underneath here, and I wanted to be able to get to it easily in two different places. So I put a trap door so I can get to it relatively easily from either side and be able to shut it or do any repairs in a hurry. So, but I got this hole. I'll be able to put my cedar hide pieces of wood right here, and then be able to keep running the wiring back to the batteries. This cable is 4 gauge wire. Lumar recommends up to 50 foot using a 4 gauge wire, and after that they recommend 2 gauge. And so I was a little under 50 foot continuous run, so that's basically from the battery all the way to the windlass itself and then back again, so more or less 25 each direction. And so I was a little under the 50, so I figured it would be safe to go ahead and use the 4 gauge. One good idea with these holes that I'm cutting through certain parts of the boat, if it's an area where it's susceptible to any sort of water getting into the wood, it's always a good idea on the open edges where you bored through the wood to coat it with a little bit of epoxy, and that way it prevents the water being able to get into the core of the wood. So sometimes it might be a finished teak outside plywood veneer, but on the inside it might be something that may not be as water resistant as teak or some mahoganies. So I get the wiring run from the starter battery, engine start battery there. Got it run underneath through there, through conduit, up underneath the sink, straight up. And there's conduit that runs all the way from here, all the way forward, and all the way to the front, where you can see I've got the excess hanging out, which I'll pass it through that bulkhead forward into the anchor locker and attach it to the windlass. So now all I need is my relay, my breaker, and then the connections made to the battery, and we'll be set.